Oh my god, what a way to start. Good Friday. Welcome to Artifact Creator Spaces. I'm Ferry and I'm joined by my co-host who's got his funny on today, guys. He's unlocked that funny trait. What's good, Cass?
Neon.
Precisely.
Nah, I'm excited for this one. This is super cool. We're in a very meme culture heavy space, and we have probably one of the legends in the meme world on stage with us. So shout out to Mr. PR Guitar Man Chris. Thank you for joining us. And obviously you're the creator of the Neon Cats, which has been around for a while. So I feel like we'd love to just start with your intro into pixel art and why even Neon Cats.
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you so much for having me on here. Happy Friday to everybody out on stage. It's been an awesome week. Well, yeah, rewind back then. I was just a kid that really loved video games. I remember actually one day getting a hold of Mario Paint. I was like begging my mom for Mario Paint, and that kind of like started my pixel journey. If you have played Mario Paint would understand that it's just you can just make your own pictures and art and music and all that kind of stuff and swat flies and stuff. So I was really obsessed with that. And then I just started like making art once I like started getting into the internet. Like, I don't know, it's been 20 years now since been making like lots of fun art and memes and stuff like that. And yeah, like in 2011, I created this cat that, is flying through space with rainbows, and it exploded all over the internet. And yeah, it's been about 12 years now since Dan Cat just blew up on the web, and it's just been crazy ever since. And then joining Web3 was even crazier, just like blew everything up even further. So yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. But yeah, I'm happy to be here and ready to chat. How's it going with you guys?
Oh, it's going well. Definitely excited to have you here because you got a really dope approach. I think when we spoke first, I didn't even realize how in depth you took your art and where you really were putting your time and energy. And sometimes I feel like people can kind of overlook that with all sorts of art forms, and it's just really crazy once you start to get into like the details. Because one of the things that kills me, y'all, this guy is using some I don't even remember the name. Yeah, what's the what's the program you use for
Media. I cannot believe you're still using that. You need to tell everybody where you're getting it from. We all need to go on it, have a go, and realize how difficult it is to use.
Yeah, the program was Macromedia Fireworks. So for those that don't know, it is a program that was like in early 2000s and was actually bought out by Adobe in 2008. But I have the Macromedia version, so it's way before that. But yeah, it's been about 20 years since I started the program. I would not recommend the program. It's not a good program, but like, I don't know, it always has, it gives like really good pixels, like really sharp pixels. It's hard to explain, but I really like the way that the art comes out. It kind of gives it its own little aesthetic and form. But yeah, I've been using that for easily 12 years now, and that's how I've been making my pixel art. It's really difficult to do. There's no like preview screen or anything, just a lot of layers, and and chaos, I guess. But yeah, I would say if there are any pixel artists that want to like try something different, obviously A Sprite is the way is pretty awesome. I keep seeing that one, and then Piskel, I think it's called Piskel. It's like a free web browser app that you can just use. It's totally free. But yeah, just letting y'all, giving out some tips for those that want to try out pixel art.
So, Chris, this is kind of like bizarre to me that you are actually, first of all, the creator of Nyan Cat, and we're talking to you. So, first and foremost, bow down. Fangirl moment here, but making a meme and trying to mark it as your own is almost impossible nowadays, because people just screen grab something from here and there and then change it slightly, and then before you know, it's like on the other side of the world. So how did you claim the Cat for yourself? How did that process go about?
Yeah, that it's kind of funny. It was initially, well, it still kind of is nowadays, a little difficult to like, prove who I am out here. I do remember initially I drew it, I put it on the internet, and then a lot of people actually did try to claim it. They try to like claim copyrights and all these things, and I had to like prove with postings that I made in art pieces and stuff that I was the original artist. So, but I mean, everything is now cleared up. Everything's great now. But yeah, that kind of also is how memes work. As you were saying, like, somebody will take something, put something else on it, share it on, and that kind of in its way is its own marketing. So it is kind of like a perfect storm of cuteness and internet culture and collectability and marketability, all kind of rolled up into one. So it's been, I don't know, it's been awesome doing all of this. But yeah, just explaining it a little there.
Yeah, I think I went back through your tweets and I had to pin just some of the random things that you retweeted, which I love, especially seeing this one where it's a person who found like a run, just some of your artwork kind of graffitied in some chalk, and that's the kind of stuff when like people are using your IP across all sorts of just mediums and just for fun. It's got lasting power. But I think that's one thing I'd love to hear just your opinion on, because it seems like you definitely really understand internet culture, but I gotta understand, like, what's your favorite area of the internet? Like, what are your favorite memes and things like that? I'd love to know what kind of drew you and sucked you into this stuff.
I don't really know like what entirely got me into internet memes. I guess just like how catchy a lot of them they can be. I remember like in 1998, the Nyan Cat of 1998 was Hamster Dance, and I was in my middle school just like blasting it on all the computers and annoying everybody. Uh, just kind of stuff like that. Making fun random moments, and also just adding to it has also been just so fulfilling out here. I would say really the best places for memes out here would, I if I was to rank them, I would say Tumblr, Twitter, and Reddit. I think because I don't know, like all of them have different ecosystems, and if you're like in all of them, not only do you like learn those cultures, but you kind of like remix things on your own, and you can make something new along the way. But yeah, like I'm always refreshing like top of pages and stuff. I'm like chronically online, so memes kind of just like come and go, and I just learn along the way.
Chris, maybe you can touch up on what we've pinned to the top. It's like the first pinned tweet, and it's the McDonald's Japan Nyan Cat.
Oh yeah, that was a surprise to do. Collaborations like that are always awesome with the stuff I'm doing out here. That was I drew every bit of that. It was really great work. I can't really talk about it too much, but it just like blew up the internet the other day, which was just awesome seeing so many people just love it. And I've seen people make like plush versions already, so it's already taken off. People are already like making little mascots for it, so that's pretty great. But yeah, stuff like that is always been something that I've been doing out here, in terms of just art and licensing. Like I I will make all these things, and then people come up and they're like, hey, what, what can you do for us? Or, like, we want you to do something fun and cute or something. And then, I just kind of like see what's cool and kind of go from there. You learn quite a bit from there, but yeah, it's really exciting. And every time I can check it off my little list of like cool stuff that I've been doing out here on the web. So yay.
Let's go. The list is just getting longer and longer. And something else that you did a while back, well, somebody else did, but with your work, was Dead Mouse. Can we talk about a Ferrari?
Yes, I love that story. I can't pin stuff on my phone. If somebody could just put that one up, because I think everybody needs
I'll
to see
find
that.
it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I can't. I have an old version of Twitter that no longer searches tweets, so it sucks out here. No, but the Ferrari was awesome. Deadmau5 actually contacted me through DM way back then, and just straight up asked me, like, "Can I put your art on this car?" And I thought it was a joke at first, but I was like, "Yeah, sure, go for it." And he ended up wrapping his Ferrari in it, and drove the Gumball 3000 and won, which was just huge. Like, I was just not expecting that. So there's like so many photos out there of him like driving that car, and I think he also made a helmet for himself, which was awesome. But yeah, I mean that was just amazing. And I think for a while everybody thought Dead Mouse made Nyan Cat at that, and he kind of like made it his mascot for a minute, and that was really funny to see as well. And I think I also made a Dead Mouse Nyan Cat at the time, and then a Skrillex one right after that one. But yeah, that was a huge moment, and it actually did open up a lot of opportunities for stuff, and it spread the meme further. So it was just awesome to see. And then yeah, apparently Ferrari got really angry that Dead Mouse changed stuff in his car, and they told him to stop. And then from what I heard, he 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 took the wrap off, and I think he sold the car, and then Mazda actually messaged him and offered him a Nyan Cat Mazda, and I'm over here like, why not me? But I don't think anything went through with that. But I remember that happening at the time, and I just thought it was so funny that Mazda was getting involved, and they like even had a mock-up of a Mazda car with like a Nyan Cat on it, which I thought was funny.
That's so epic. It's so cool. But I feel like we're just flying through these questions. And I know that me and Cass are going to be hogging you throughout this whole spaces unless somebody comes up, you know? We've got loads of questions, guys, but if you want to get your questions in, you've got to come up and ask them. Or just show some love. But something else that I had, your Nike collab. You had a freaking Nike collab that is so difficult to track down on the internet. Can you please tell us how that came about?
Yeah, of course, and I love talking about that with you guys because I know you guys are all about Nike, and I love Nike too. Yeah, I way back, I don't want to say in 2012, I was contacted to do it was like a Nyan Cat with Back to the Future and Nike collaboration, and I was like, yeah, of course, I love to do this, and then they ultimately told me it was for the shoes, the self lacing shoes, that huge auction in 2011 or 12, and I was like, oh yes, absolutely. So I actually drew, and I know there's a picture out there. Oh, thank you for pinning it. Yeah, I drew that animation, and on the like official website for the shoes with the countdown, that was like running nonstop until the countdown was over. But yeah, like that kind of got lost on history a little bit. I'm not sure where all the media went, but I did save a few screenshots, and some exist out there. But yeah, that was a big moment with those shoes that everybody got to see those.
That's so crazy. The Back to the Future drop was yeah. I think there's like one shoe out there that's probably like the most legendary. I think that one definitely is up there for Nike. It's so sick to see that you just find your way in with all these major IPs, and it's just like a staple. I've never really thought about having meme culture be such like an important part of where we're at in life, but it is like we're literally talking to a professional meme person, a meme artist. It's not, but you're more than that. Because so like it's, I don't want to just take it down the meme rabbit hole. But wait, we got the Banana Rat on stage with us. So Banana Rat, what's going on?
Hey guys, how's everything going? Glad to see you got Chris on the space, one of the great creators in the area here. Um, One thing I wanted to ask Chris about is, yeah, Chris, you launched a Nyan balloon, and it's one of the greatest examples I've seen of an open edition that's being effectively run up the ladder, where you're slowly collapsing into a smaller and smaller collection. Can you talk about that a bit, and how you've had such good success in kind of slowly taking that open edition down to a much smaller collection and really kind of benefiting the collectors that got in earlier? And just by the way, Banana Rat's one of the earlier collectors. I've got hundreds of the things, right? So just love the way that open edition is going. But if you could speak to that a bit, I'd love to hear it, right?
Yeah, of course. By the way, hey, how's it going, Banana Red? Nice to see you. No, I mean that Nan Balloon was kind of a really happy surprise in my life, and it came just at the very beginning of the open edition meta. Um, Way back in 2011, I drew a prequel of Nyan Cat, and it was a cat with the balloon just flying infinitely into space. But at the time, Nyan Cat was like blowing up, and everybody, I didn't want to ruin what was going on with it, so I didn't even post it. But then last year, I was going through an old computer, and I found it. And at first, I was gonna do it as a one of one, but then I was like, you know what? I just want everybody to have this. Like whoever wants it can have it. And literally that same day, Manifold came out with the feature to like do open editions, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's just make one open edition and go from there. So I remastered the Red Balloon, and I was like, here you go. If you guys want it, it was like $15 at the time. Have fun. I personally thought it wasn't going to do more than 10,000, but it shot to 21,000, which just blew my mind. And I was just scrambling. I was like, oh no, I need to figure something out. Because I was like, that's just so many. So then I came up with a game where you basically take balloons and you trade them for new ones. Like I draw new art and post it, and I'm like, if you have these requirements, you can actually trade for this new piece of art, and it's rarer than the one that you have now. So yeah, it's been working out really well, especially in this market. Like I'm always against dilution. Like dilution is, can make or break a project out here, and it can be rough out there. So this has been a great medium for me to actually keep making art, and then the art gets scarcer over time. So that's just been that just saved me during this market, and it's actually made me more creative than ever. Like I've really like every time I'm like I'm gonna do just a little bit better next time, and now I'm at a point where I'm like screaming as I'm drawing because it's just so much intensity that I'm trying to accomplish. But like once it comes out, it's just fantastic. But yeah, like it's been going. I want to say the anniversary is like this week or next week actually. So oh no wait, it was last month. But yeah, it's easily over a year, and it's just been really fun making cool new art. And now, of course, with like Nifty Island, we can play as Neon Balloon on Nifty Island. And I've done this stuff that I've done token linking stuff before with other projects as well. So it's definitely an ever evolving collection. And yeah, every time that I release a new one, the collection just kind of gets smaller. So it's just kind of fun seeing the numbers when the dust settles. But yeah, that's the
No,
gist of it for sure.
I love it. Love to see the momentum. You're creating new characters. Where do you come up for the ideas for the different types of cats, the new characters? Where does your mind go to get that creative juice, right?
I don't know. I go with trends. I go with just what I think works, in my style. These have accidentally ended up kind of like emojis in a way, or like I think of them as like little pins or like charms that you can collect. So I kind of think of that. If you were to like hold a button that had Neon Balloon, I would want it to look cute. So that's like my number one thing when I do it. And yeah, I'm just always inspired by what's going on. A few months ago, The Simpsons actually featured like a fake Nyan Cat on their show. And so I was like, okay, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do this. So I made like a pizza Nyan Balloon, which looks very strikingly similar to the style of the show. But it's its own thing, just stuff like that. I try to make things special moments or theme them around holidays, and I kind of just try to keep them evergreen. So even if it's like a holiday, it's something that you can collect because it's like a character, not a holiday. It's like a character in the holiday. I don't know, but yeah, just stuff like that. I always try to think of collectability above everything else. So that's kind of the major factor in deciding these things.
Well, we'll keep going. I really love what you're doing there, and big statement here, but I think you've got a play as big as Pudgy Penguins here if you keep pushing it, because you got the momentum, the memes, the 9cat. So keep going. I think you got a good long-term play, my friend.
Hey, that's the goal for sure. Thank you.
Yeah,
Memes
appreciate
forever. Oh, sorry. You go first.
I think memes forever and appreciation for Banana Ratter are both equal here. But I definitely love this topic, because I think one of the things that I feel like would be especially hard for me is thinking in like the frames of just, you know, pixel art, because it seems like, you know, you have all these variations, but you definitely have such a limited area that you're working with. So what's it like, you know, keeping a canvas kind of fresh, even though you still have just a small area?
You know, the canvas is never really fresh because it is just covered with art, and I'll save as 50 times, so my desktop is just full of icons. And yeah, it is so tiny. Like if I was to compare it, it's like drawing on a grain of rice, but digitally. The cool thing is that you can zoom in super hard, and you have the undo button in this kind of realm, which works great. But yeah, no, I love the challenge of working with really small canvases. My canvases are usually like 100 pixels, square format, or sometimes I challenge myself with 50, which I've been really starting to get into lately. But depends on what I'm drawing, I guess. But yeah, it's really fun. Not only, and it really is complicated. Like this piece that I'm working on right now required like a whole math problem to solve an animation. So like that was a whole week of trying to figure that out. Uh, but yeah, you know, it's always a challenge, and but it's just always really good when it comes out. There's just a lot of little complexities that go into each piece, and especially when you try to loop it, that's where the challenge is. Because like making a regular GIF is fine, but like making it loop so it seamlessly goes on for infinity is something else. That drives me crazy sometimes. But hey, when it comes out, it looks great.
Chris, why do you think memes are so powerful?
That's a good question. I think first of all, I think they're just really easy to digest. Like, you know, back then memes were so simple. It's just like a picture of an animal, top text, bottom text, with a little message, and then that was the joke. Now memes are more about emotions and relatability. So that's kind of been a fun evolution. But really, people love, like, I can have a whole conversation in memes, like the GIF button. I can have fun. You know, people do that, and it's always funny when that happens. But you know, you can have whole messages. Like there are entire languages that can be understood from both sides, just from a photo of SpongeBob laughing or something like that. And that, you know, that it can also bring a lot of powers. Like whenever you whenever something's really good and gets shared, the message can be spread from there. So you know, I don't know. I think memes are like the entire backbone of the internet. Like everything is a meme in one way or another. But internet memes are, you know, kind of a fun indie pop kind of way of entertainment out here, and sometimes they really do make a difference out here, which is awesome as well.
Nothing's worse than making a meme that is just too clever for people to understand. That one hurts. But Chris, how does it feel knowing that you've created something that is so iconic, that you have people dressing up their cats as Nyan Cat, there's murals on their walls, there's flash games, there's little animations, I don't know, people's keyboards, rugs, like it's everywhere. How does it feel?
It's always really surreal seeing that, but I love it as well. Like people just taking art and making it their own. Like I don't know, I've always been that way. Like really, like I grew up in Puerto Rico where art is everywhere. It's art's all over the walls. People do whatever they want. It's really fun. And seeing that is kind of the same way. You take something, you've morphed it, turn it into your own. Nyan Cat is a pretty simple piece to work with. Like, you know, it really is a tiny little character if you like zoom it on the grid of pixels out there. But yeah, it's also great. Like people I get emails all the time of people just, yeah, like you said, dressing up their cats, dogs. I see tattoos often. I see shoes and murals, and I think it's been pretty much everywhere at this point. Like, I know on YouTube it's got like over 2 billion views just from all the videos out there. So like, it's really permeated every single part of the world, which is insane. But it's awesome. Like, just seeing art kind of spread like that, and people just enjoy it. And that's the best part.
2 billion views is a crazy number. That's like Justin Bieber level numbers, which I love though. And it is like you are like the Justin Bieber of memes at this point, because I feel like it's just everywhere. I do gotta ask, because this was one of those questions I was gonna ask earlier, but I saved it since now it's a better time. You've talked about a lot of different groups that you've worked with or IPs that you've got to collab with. Are there any that you still want to try and knock off the list? And I've got a follow-up question right after you answer, so don't worry.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would love to, and I have talked to a few people in like animation industries and stuff like that. Really, like, Yan Cat can do almost like, whatever I want to, whatever I feel is the best idea. Like, I'm gonna go for it. So, but yeah, like, animation will be awesome. Just I don't really know. I don't really want to name any people, but if something cool comes along, I'm definitely down to like, weigh it out and collaborate from there. Yeah, that's kind of it there.
You guys, that carefulness means that he's already working on a lot of these deals, so he can't blow it by saying it too soon. So apologies, Chris. I get it. We gotta let you cook, and we will see in the future. That's the best part. But we got Durs on stage. Durs, what's going on?
What's up? I'm actually at work right now, hot micing the shit out of this, and I've never done this before. But I just wanted to say hello. I shouldn't really be here at the moment, but I had to come in for this. It's a great moment, and I literally was almost in tears when I heard that this was going to be in a little interview with Artifact. Don't get my head spinning about it, please. But absolutely stoked. Everybody should get a balloon cat. And please mute me because I can't touch my button anymore.
Are you getting shot?
Are you working in like an armory or something? It sounds like you're making a sword.
What's up, Durs? Nice to meet you, and thank you so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Durs is at the site building, literally, like actually building things, and
yeah,
it's amazing.
I was just kidding about that, but yeah, that's what it sounded like. But it was great for him to show up. I know he wanted to at least pop in and say hi. So nice to see you here.
Yeah, super dope that we've got so many supporters of both Artifact and Nyan Cats in here. And Chris, I think that's one thing it'd be interesting to get your topic on, either in Web3 or just social media. But where do you think the trends are going? Because obviously you caught on really at a great time for Web3, but we all know things are always evolving and shifting. So I'd love to know what you think about that.
About like the trends in NFTs or just like culture in general?
Either or, because it can get muddy either way depending on.
Yeah. That's. I mean, yeah. I guess that's the right way to say it. I guess I'll answer for both. Really, like, I think memes are only going to get more powerful from here. Like, I'm going to be real. Like, attention spans are going down, especially with me. Like, I'm my own worst enemy there, so I get it. So people want short form content. People want to be, entertained right away. They want the drama right away. And memes are so quick, so easy to send and remix and all that stuff. So, I see that. I see memes being more prevalent and, just things getting more, icons getting bigger, stuff like that. Everything getting a little simpler out here. But yeah, that's kind of how I see, honestly, for both, like, really. Especially with NFTs. Like, NFTs are kind of like an engagement market, so you have to like really just you need like 5 seconds to prove your case a lot of the times to get through the people, and memes are the great way to do it. So I see that happening as well.
So I'm going to jump topics, but 3 years ago, Chris, something crazy happened. Tell us about that, please.
Oh yes, the up on the what's it called, the jumbotron. I guess that's what you're talking about. Yeah, 3 years ago, I actually sold my first NFT out here. I got interested in crypto maybe like a year before, and I just started seeing all these articles about how artists can come in and get proper attribution for their work. Back then, like everybody knew Nyan Cat was a thing, but nobody really knew who created it. So like once I joined Web3 and minted the piece, like people were like able to, you know, link that to me, and that was so powerful because then people saw the artist behind it, which was huge. And then yeah, like I ended up putting it on auction, and it sold for an insane 300 ETH, which just completely changed my life. And yeah, that kind of started my whole journey out here in Web3. Just like once I realized just the huge potential for not just, I don't know, not just making money, but like showing off art and token and linking it to you, and like I don't know, scarcity and all that stuff. Like I love that as well. Like just having something where you can, it's like you can make art and people can own a piece of your art, and then that's just, I don't know, that's just so game changing for me.
Well, massive congratulations on that and everything else that you've been doing since, especially all the little collabs. Well, I would say little, but they're absolutely huge that you've been doing. I just want to know, what do your friends and family and your loved ones, what do they think about the things that you do?
A lot of them have no idea what I'm doing. I either don't tell them, or if I do tell them, they don't get it, which is fine. Nobody truly, like, I don't know. People in my life don't really understand memes that well. Um, I'm I'm more online than they are, if I guess that's the best way to describe it. So they don't really get the trends and all that kind of stuff. But they support me, and they're proud of me just the same. They know that I'm making art out here, and everybody gets to see it, which is great. I know my mom will like message me sometimes, going, "Look, like this person on Facebook has a Nyan Cat something," and and it's always she's always so proud to see that, and she'll like comment on them and be like, "That's my son," and it's like it's the whole thing. But I mean, most people don't get it, and that's fine. I honestly, a lot of the times when people ask me, I'm just like, oh, I'm just like a digital artist, and I don't try to like explain too much, because then that just turns into a whole conversation and a half. But yeah, kind of just try to keep on the lowdown for the most part.
Fair enough, can completely relate there. Before you kind of like dive deeper into the meme culture and stuff, you were a graphic designer, weren't you?
I mean, I guess a self-proclaimed graphic designer. Just my own person. Really, it wasn't even really that. I was just drawing like comics and just putting them on the internet, and they were free and just for fun. And if a meme came along, I just kind of did my own thing. But you kind of learn how to get a little bit better over time. So yeah, I wouldn't say officially a graphic designer, but yeah, just for having fun for sure.
Oh yeah, you had LOL Comics. And what websites were your comics on, or did you have your own website?
I actually had them way back on my own website, but then somebody like hacked my website and didn't get it back, so I just like shut it all down. But now, if you go to LOL Comics Time, that's where I have like some of the comics that I've like survived. But yeah, I've drawn those comics for so long. They were kind of like my way to express myself, and uh, like had some crazy jobs way back then. I worked at this hotel that was just really awful. So I had a lot of bad memories there, but they made for great comics. And other than that, I don't know, I kind of trailed off here, but yeah, that was way back then.
It's super awesome. I love hearing just like the other parts of what brought you to where you are, and I think a good question would be like, what do you enjoy outside of art and creating?
Mostly cats. I have 3 cats of my own, and they're just amazing. Aside from that, just being with my family, hanging out with them. Don't really have too many interests aside from like video games and just the internet in general. Like I'm just out here all the time trying to, see what new stuff I can learn. So that's, yeah, those are a few of my hobbies out here.
I would like to say that I'm the biggest meme person in my artifact team, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think it's Connie. Connie is extremely funny, and he actually has a Russian blue. So shout out to the Russian blues. Shout out to Neon Cat, man. So
Shout out
many
to Russian
memories.
Blues. Well, were you you were the one that made that really cool graphic that was like for the announcements for the spaces, right? That's such a good graphic. Like I'm gonna pin it up. With
The render of the clone.
Yeah, that's such a good one. Like it was so good. Was that you that made that one?
I would like to say that I helped direct it, but
Oh yeah.
unfortunately not. I do not have those skills. It's all Mars. Mars is incredible. He does the renders for us every time we do spaces and some other outside ones. But yeah, he's amazing. Glad you liked it.
Yeah, it looks really great. I was like showing off everybody that picture. So great job on that.
That's so cute. We were like, we need to do Neon Cat justice. Like, we can't. And when he found out that we were interviewing you, he was like, are you kidding me? This is my job? Is this real life? He was so excited. So that was like a nice little feeling there, knowing I had some part to play in bringing him some happiness. But you also bring a lot of happiness to people. Like, can we talk about your philanthropy, your giving back culture that you have there? How why do you do the things that you do? Why is it so important for you to give back?
I don't know. Like I don't know. I just like I guess I grew up not having everything, so I always kind of shared whatever I did. Actually, it's funny. I have a photo of me when I was a kid, and I was like playing a Nintendo on like cardboard boxes. Like that was like how I lived back then. So I didn't grow up with a lot, and now that Nyan Cat has changed my life, I'm just like I don't know. I just really like to try to help people as much as I can. Like I've helped my family, which has been amazing. Nyan Cat actually was born from a charity event. There was like there was way back in 2011. There were some like disasters going on in Japan. So I was raising money for the Red Cross just to draw for tips, and that's how Nyan Cat like was made, literally in one of those chat rooms. Since then I've done lots of stuff for like Doctors Without Borders, and I know like in 2021 I collaborated with the Cryptodes team, and then we did like the GI Toads, and then from there we donated like I don't it was like 42.69 ETH to the Cryptodes treasury, which was awesome, and then I believe it was like $200,000 for charity for AIDS. So that was a huge accomplishment as well, like just giving back in that way. I don't know. Just feels right sometimes. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Obviously it's case by case thing, but I don't know. It just feels good to and I love to even just share my art out here. Like sometimes I'm just like I don't know. It's just fun. I can keep going, but yeah.
Something else I wanted to talk about is what you did recently is the stickers, the sticker pack that you made. How did that come about? It's so cool.
Oh yeah, that actually came out. That actually came out yesterday, which like was again it's been a crazy week for me. I've been working on those stickers for a few months now, and it took a while for sure, and then they were all ready. I put them up yesterday. So if you see, I think it's one of my latest tweets. They're just stickers that you can use on Apple devices and Samsung, and it was just like $1 if you want them. But it's just fun because like I do stickers a lot with people, and I just wanted like official stickers so I can like send them off to people. So that was kind of why I did it. I took some extra care to make sure that they were pixel perfect and all that. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. I've already seen a lot of people using them, so it's been. I think it was a job well done on that.
Absolutely smashed it. They look so cute, and you know, we can't really get enough of color in our life, so definitely recommend people downloading them and maybe send me a message with some color on it. I'm a Brit, and again, sorry, Cass, I'm hogging the mic, but I'm a Brit. I have not had this toaster pastry. Can I say Pop Tarts? I've not had it before. The Nyan Cat is a cherry flavored one, right?
Nyan Cat is Nyanberry flavored, actually.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. But what is your favorite flavor of Pop Tart?
I don't know. It's been so many years since I've had them, so I don't even remember them anymore. Sorry to answer that question.
I thought they would be in your dietary requirement.
No, it's been a long time since I've had those. Uh, but yeah, no, I'm not really sure. I mean, I kind of like cinnamon and strawberry breakfast pastries. Those are my way to go.
Oh, Chris, you're so smart. I was about to say the correct answer is brown sugar cinnamon, and you got to microwave it just for like 10 to 20 seconds. Not too long, or else you're going to like burn this Pop Tart, y'all. So, yeah, that's super dope.
Sounds like Cass knows what he's talking about. People take his advice. You don't want to get it wrong. Chris, what's your favorite snack then? If it's not Pop Tarts.
I'm not much of a snacker.
What?
But yeah, I don't know. I do like cake, so I'm just gonna go with cake. I like cake.
I do love cake.
A bundt cake. I like those.
A bun cake?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Wait, what is a bun cake? Let me just go Google it. Cass, you take over.
Oh, you're missing out. Now we're gonna have to dive into my former addiction to bundt cakes that I'm trying to get over, and since it's been me converting to cheesecake, which also a problem. So we probably
Cheesecake
don't.
is good too. Yeah.
Yeah, but if anybody else wants to come in and talk about their favorite cakes or cats or memes with Chris, feel free to jump in. Definitely enjoying this one. But Chris, I think it's really cool where you're at, especially if the fact that you're doing a lot of things on all sorts of mediums. So, like for this sticker pack, how much different is it designing these images for that versus just like if you were minting something on the blockchain?
Well, there's at least like a way that if you mess up, you can fix it on the stickers. Whereas when I upload something on the blockchain, it's pretty permanent, and that's so scary. Like that's part of the stress when making art. Like I'm such a perfectionist. Like if there's one pixel wrong anywhere, I will just always think about it forever. So, but no, it was a little difficult to get started on these sticker packs. But really, like I already had the art ready to go. I save all my stuff, so I just was able to kind of like fine tune it just a little bit, make it a little bit sharper, take out the backgrounds, and ended up working out. So yeah, it's like 40 stickers, and they're just if you're familiar with the Apple stickers, you know how they work, but you just kind of drag and drop them or react to messages with them on iMessage, and yeah, I think they came out great. And then I used my cat as a model for the promotional footage, so I made that. I had to include him as well. He's my little model.
It's amazing. I was saying you gotta give us the reason. Everybody has their answer for why cats or why dogs. I've had some debates with people over cat and dog people, but what is it that makes you just like more of like a cat person?
You know, you mean like with the internet? Like I think the internet loves cats because they're kind of like assholes in a way. They're jerks but they're also like super lovable and loyal and they'll always be here with you. I mean, obviously, of course, dogs. Like I'm not downplaying dogs, but like cats kind of took over the internet in terms of like memeability and relatability in those terms. I don't know. I guess cats also have like they can look at you like, they look at you and then you understand what they're saying. Like you can tell if they're angry. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think that's why. I mean, just the memeability and just how funny some cats are sometimes. So that's why I think that's the way it is.
It's a good answer. Cats do definitely have more personality from what I've seen. Every cat usually, it's it's not as complex as dogs. Dogs, as long as you just love them and give them attention, they'll love you back. Cats, it's like I can show you love, but you'll still like be very specific on how you want me to do anything or exist around you. Which if I live to serve a cat, that's cool. That's what the Egyptians thought, I think. But
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's on record. People have just been worshiping cats since the dawn of time, and I get it because I mean, they're just so cute.
Chris, can you tell us about the Nyan Cat website? What's going on there? Do you have any plans to do anything else with it? Because I've been having some fun nyanning away.
Oh yeah. So I've always thought about like keeping the website time specific. So you look back and it's exactly the way you saw it. So it kind of like drives a nostalgic factor to it, and that's the way it's been really for 12 years now. It did get like a revamp to just be more web friendly a few years ago. But yeah, Nyan.cat is where you can go and just watch Nyan Cat endlessly. And there's actually other versions that you can click into there, and I think a few Easter eggs. You have to find those out. But yeah, I'm really like my art is the most important thing. So like I think that just keeping the website the way it is, like 10 years from now when people look at it, they're going to be like, wow, it's exactly as I left it. I remember specifically the Hamster Dance website way back in the 90s, and I was devastated when first of all the website changed to something else, and then eventually it got shut down. And I was like, I don't know, like I see this website and I'm like, I don't want somebody to stumble upon it and go, oh, it's gone now. Like, so I don't know. I just kind of plan to keep it the same way. I do have like one little ad there that goes into my NFT collection, so it kind of bridges Web 2 and Web 3 if people want to. So yeah, just kind of trying to keep it simple and kind of expanding everywhere else. But yeah, I think the website might stay the same. It might go through a few new updates if I get new cats, but yeah, I think I like it the way it is.
I also love it the way it is. But you were talking about how the website like disappeared and stuff, and it made me think about how there's so many memes and so many things like within the internet that may potentially just wipe off. So how do you feel about that as a creator?
I see that. I see that all the time and experienced it as well. That's why I love to just save as many memes as I can, because you never know historically down the line when you're gonna want to bust those out again and be like, look at this, like it's gone everywhere else, but here it is. And honestly, we're seeing that already. Like websites that do like lost footage are huge now. Nostalgia really is the hottest thing right now because everybody's nostalgic. So yeah, I see that a lot, and especially now, I know Google for a fact is going to start deleting accounts that are inactive for 6 months. By the way, that Gmail is closing down thing, I think that was fake, but this other one is real. Like they're going to start sending out emails to people saying, you have this amount of time to get back in, or your account's gone. Problem is, a lot of content creators may not be around anymore, so I'm I'm like currently in this phase of life saving as much as I can of really funny stuff like Vine. Those that remember Vine, like that was awesome back then, and some of those TikToks are still quoted today, but it's gone now. Like you have to find it historically from people who just decided to save, screen share one day. I mean, save a video one day. So it's going to keep happening, and I think this year we're going to see that a little more. So definitely like back up your stuff. Save all the memes you love, and just know that the internet is just always kind of in a decline, and things will come and go. So yeah.
Man, the Vine statement would hit hard because there's a lot of people I feel like got left in that gap where it was like they were creating on Vine for a long time, then disappeared, then TikTok was still not TikTok, but then everybody finally jumped on. It's just like kind of how like Tumblr was for a bit there, where like there's a lot of cool stuff happening on Tumblr, and then you would just find it everywhere else, and people didn't really know what was going on in that like edgy emo social media backroom. But that was yeah, it's still a dope app. It's like a dark aesthetic Pinterest area for me.
I love that era too, and Tumblr, yeah, Tumblr is very punk rock, and Tumblr is still going on today. Like people, a lot of the memes that we see now came from Tumblr, so I think Tumblr deserves a lot more credit than it gets. But yeah, it's there are. I remember definitely Tumblr having like a dark era, like in the early 2000s, and it never really left it. It just got a little more advanced. But that, I mean, that's kind of how the culture is there. It's just kind of it's very different than definitely very different than Twitter.
Chris, you've been through a lot with your journey with Nyan Cat and everything else that you've created. So what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned throughout your journey?
So that's a big question. I would say, first of all, stay true to yourself. And I'm not just saying that. Like I get requests to do so many things all the time, and it really is the ones that like I can look at and go, okay, this is something that like is gonna be awesome for Nyan Cat itself. Like this is something that people will love and enjoy, and I love going to stuff like that. People try to, people will try to tempt you and try to tell you to change and your style and all that stuff. Always take the critique, but always at the end look at yourself and go, this is something that's going to work for me, or is it something that they want that they'll leave me in the dust over. So yeah, that's a big one. Second one would be just getting over imposter syndrome. That's an everyday thing for me. I'm always looking at my art and just going, it's not where I want it to be. So but that makes me work a little harder. But that can also just really mess you up sometimes mentally. But really, just it's like just because you don't think it looks great for you doesn't mean it won't look great for somebody else. And you have to keep that in mind. Like you have to do it for yourself, push through it, and eventually you'll find a niche of people that will like love and enjoy your work, and you'll start getting a community out of it. So definitely keep going with that, and then just keep at it for real. Like it took me 20 years to get where I am at. It really, the Nyan Cat moment was definitely just an explosive moment in my life, but I've been making art easily 12 years before that. So it took a lot of randomness and chaos along the way to finally just get lucky in the right moment. And if I would have stopped, I would never be here today. So definitely just keep at it. Believe in yourself, and really, like, if you're an artist out here that hasn't gotten into NFTs, definitely at least look into it, because like I don't know. I always try to tell artists that like, because I was in the artist world and the DeviantArt Tumblr days, and people would make commissions, and they were essentially NFTs. Like you draw a baseline, you fill in the character, you make it specifically custom for the person, and I'm just like, that's literally a PFP project. So I've been trying to tell people that. I've gotten some really good artists on board, but like there's always some resistance out there. But I think people are learning. It's definitely, tides are changing, and I see that. So that's also a part of why I stick around, because I just believe in it all.
Yeah, this is honestly the perfect environment for someone like with your story, like the amount that Web3 relies on internet culture to kind of drive everything from what's the most like talked about project to what's actually just something that we might want to actually look into because it's been around for so long. So super, super dope, and I'm so happy that you found your space and continued going on, because it's definitely inspirational. Very, I know I cut you off there. Might be.
No, I was just gonna compliment him on his ways with words, because he answered Chris, you answered like two of my other questions that I had. I wanted to ask you, what is it about the Web3? I hate calling it Web3, but this NFT, I hate calling it NFT, digital collectible crypto space. What is it that you love about it?
I love the way you worded that there. I mean, first of all, the communities are awesome. Like, this is nothing like I've ever seen before. Like, I've always kind of been on my own out here, and now I have all these people supporting the stuff that I do, which is it's just so different. But I love it. Um, and then kind of what was the oh man, I had a good answer on that one. Could you rephrase the question one more time, and then I'll remember it.
What do because this space is so crazy, it's so up and down, it can be so negative at times. So what makes you want to stay in the crypto digital collectible space?
Oh, okay. I mean, I came here for the art. Like in 2021, everything was crazy about the art, and that's what drove me in, and I still believe in it. So that's a huge part of why I'm here. Like, just the art. Like, I have so many friends that I've made, and it's cool seeing all the stuff that they're making and collecting from them when I can, and really just like this kind of adds a fun little twist to everything that I'm doing out here. It makes everything more collectible. Like, Nyan Cat is all over the world, but like, you know, the pieces that I make are pieces that I kind of see as like Funkos, like digital Funkos, or like RuneScape party hats, or like little charms and pendants that I could like, you know, just kind of let people collect. And then those are always tracked. So that's, I don't know, it's just really cool seeing people actually interact and have fun with my work. And then of course like Web3 gaming, which is like once it's done right, it's gonna be awesome. You know, like stuff like Nifty Island's doing it really well, where you can play with some of these artworks out here, like with the neon balloons, you can play with them. So that's pretty cool, and just stuff like that, like a way of mixing art and technology and collectability and community is why I'm here. And yeah, it does get rough sometimes, but like I don't know. It goes back to my other answer. Like if you just keep going and pushing through, eventually you get through to the other side. So that's what I really believe in.
Oof, these answers, they're so good. Nyan Cat has traveled through dimensions, through different countries. He's been places. So what is one of your favorite places that you visited?
Like Switzerland. I haven't really traveled much, but I really love Switzerland. When I went there, it was back in 2013, I believe. I went there for Polymanga, which invited me to like be there and sign stuff for people, which was awesome. And I got to like see the country and just like get to know people, and it was so different than the way I live over here. So I would say that's one of my. Oh, and I went to the Geiger Museum, which was amazing back when it was still around. That was awesome. Um, but yeah, I would say that's probably like my number one place that I've ever seen, like that's just so beautiful. But I haven't really traveled that much. I've been to like Japan. You know, I grew up in Puerto Rico and a few places in the U.S. And Switzerland. Um, so not too much of a traveled person. Although I am going to Lisbon in at the end of May, so I'm really excited about that. I got invited to an NFC conference there. So really excited about that.
Dope. I am inviting you for dinner. So when are you coming to London?
Oh, you know, I would love to go to London someday. So I'll keep that in mind.
Dang, I haven't even gotten invited to dinner. Guess I gotta make more memes. Interesting.
I actually did invite you, Cass. I invited you for Yobs of Spaghetti because you said spaghetti is really boring, and I said his one is amazing, and you said no, I don't believe it. I said come and eat it then. Come and eat it.
Yeah, supposedly he does have the spicy spaghetti. So we'll see one day. Maybe Chris will join us. It'll be nice.
Yes, Chris, do you like spaghetti?
I love spaghetti. Carbonara is one of my favorites.
Okay, well he makes tomato ones, but I'll get him to make you carbonara just for you. Chris, if you could speak to cats, what is the first thing you would say to your cats?
I do speak to cats,
Oh,
and the first thing that I say to the cats every day is get off the bed. No, I mean, it's funny. Me and my cat, like we kind of have this bond. Like I can just look at him and I can see what he wants, and then vice versa. Um, but yeah, I don't think I need to like really communicate with cats with voice. Like it's all about body language and letting them trust you, and that's how I speak to cats. I don't know about you guys.
well, I told you, 2025 is going to be the year where I get my cat and I get my dog, and that's when I'll let you know if I can speak to them or not.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. Like new pets or just new friends coming into your life is always great. Yeah, definitely take pictures. I want to see. I want to see them when they get there.
Okay, only if you promise to be my friend for the next year at least.
Oh yeah, I mean, as long as neither of us are going anywhere, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Cass, are you going anywhere?
I'd like to travel. That would be
No, I
cool. Yeah,
mean
Chris.
leave this
Chris
plane,
got me
dude.
jealous. He said, not that many places. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, I want
oh,
to
it
travel
still
more
sounds
too.
interesting.
We were kind of like referring to like existing on this planet or not. Not just traveling, because you do have internet, you have phones and stuff. You can still connect. Anyway, we're rambling now. Chris, you've already given advice. So do you want to leave us with, I don't know, some more words of wisdom, or maybe tell us about the most memorable thing, apart from the things that we talked about already? What has been the most iconic moment in your life so far?
Oh my gosh, I don't really have any. Oh, I have so many. Like I don't. I'm drawing a blank right now, so I don't know the
You're
answer to that
just
one.
too humble. That's what it
I just
is.
don't. I don't know. It's just so many good moments, and it's hard to pick one. But
That's
I
a
mean,
good
really,
sign.
yeah. I mean, I feel blessed for sure. It's just I don't know. I don't really have a defining huge moment in my life. Like just there's been a lot of really cool stuff that's happened along the way. So I'm grateful for every moment, really. Um, but yeah, I mean, in terms of any final wisdom, I would say like just if you're an artist or wanting to be one, just literally just draw. Like there's so many people that try to like, especially here in the space, everybody's so judgmental on things, and and it can be rough sometimes. But really, just draw, and even if it sucks, just draw it. Like somebody, even if nobody likes it, who cares? Just keep drawing and keep going, and eventually somebody will. So um, just I don't know. I'm really a huge advocate and just going. Even if it doesn't make sense, just try, and maybe it will when you're finished with it. And if not, that's fine. Just try again, and until you're happy.
Beautiful. Chris, I'm actually practicing drawing now, and I thought maybe, sorry to put you on the spot, but maybe you could challenge our creators and give them like a task for the next week. Can you think of anything?
Oh, what if they could make a 50 by 50 CloneX pixel art animation with 12 frames of animation? How's that?
Guys, you heard the man. Are you going to do it? Are you going to step it up? I can see a few creators in here who do like a bit of a challenge. Some of you are very, very lazy. I'm joking. I'm going to take up the challenge. Let's do it. Okay. Cass, are you going to get involved?
Oh, I am terrible with anything graphic design and pixel art. I know my strengths, and I'm nowhere near that. I'm like SpongeBob Noodle Arms meme. That's the meme you can throw in there in that area. But I definitely love to see some. I think we've seen a few different pixel artists that have lended their skills, so it could be really cool to see if we could get a little Mooncat clone or something like that. But not exactly. But just give us some inspiration, some Yan inspiration.
Some Nya inspiration?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it. Right. Well, this has been amazing, Chris. Again, it's so bizarre putting a voice, a personality to something that is so legendary in internet history. I cannot believe. I'm talking to you. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Thank you for never giving up and for continuing to bring the vibes. Well done for everything that you've achieved. You have honestly big inspiration as a meme person. Big inspiration. Very good example to the rest of us. Cass, do you have any final words that you want to, any compliments for Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess, Chris, this is where we got to send it. So thank you all for coming. Banana Rap, Daz, thank you for coming up to speak. And we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great weekend.
Everybody say bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah, 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 yeah.